Hey everyone, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about the fact that yes, routines are extremely important, obviously. I mean, I talk about morning routines all the time. I'm the queen of routines. I love creating to-do lists and I'm always working on figuring out what should I be doing next, how is my week gonna look. My to-do list is like set in stone and I make sure that I do everything on my list during the day. And if something comes and interrupts it, then I'm like, no, I need to do my work, right? And so I totally am aware of the fact that, morning routines and routines in general are necessary, and I love it. But a lot of times what I notice is that when I start bringing routine into my writing, into my creativity, that is when my creativity becomes bland and stale. So what I've been exploring a lot in my creativity, in my writing, in my projects in general is I'm trying to explore all these random ideas that I would never ever explore normally if I was given a chance. So for example, I recently wrote this short story about death and suicide, and I have contemplated suicide a long time ago when I was a teenager. I think like most teenagers, we feel misunderstood, and we're like, oh, maybe I should just end it all. But I haven't thought about it ever since then. I love my life and I love everything that I am. But because that is not part of who I am right now, I really wanted to explore the idea of suicide. What would the emotions be? What would the person be thinking? What's going to go on inside of them right before they jump to their death or whatever, however they die, right? And so I wanted to explore that. But there was something inside of me that said, you don't know what it's going to be like. You've never actually thought about it. So how dare you write about it, right? And that is when I started think about the fact that my creativity is where I can be without boundaries. I can do whatever I want with my writing because there are no boundaries in there. There are no limits to the way I can use my imagination. So I can write about a person perhaps who is going to commit suicide because I'm just making it up anyways. It might be that way, it might not be, but it's not there. It's not my prerogative to censor myself. I just need to put it down on paper. Maybe someone else will censor it for me, but this is not what people think before they commit suicide. You have no idea what you're talking about. Totally fine. It was just an experiment that I'm running. So in everything that I do in my creativity, I'm always running experiments. I'm always writing about things that I normally would I wouldn't think of, or I would be ashamed to think of. For example, recently I also wrote a short story about a boy who, a teacher fell in love with one of her students and she wanted to have sex with him. And that's something that if I thought about it normally, I'd be like, oh my god, that's so shameful, and how dare she, and she should be ostracized, blah, blah, blah. But in my story, I was able to explore what was going on in the head of the student. He knows that a teacher likes him and wants to have sex with him. What is going on in his head? And it's so interesting to explore that idea, to see what would actually happen if I could explore that. And once you explore it, that idea or that notion is no longer taboo, is no longer shameful because you've already explored it, you've written about it, and you put it out into the universe and it's done with. And then you can move on to the next subject, the next taboo subject, the next shameful subject, the next whatever it might be. I might write about something else today that I've been exploring within myself. Perhaps the relationship between women in general, like how we sometimes shame each other or are ashamed of each other or are putting each other down or things like that. There's so many things to explore on this planet. And I'm doing all of that through my writing, through my creativity. But if I was stuck in a routine, my creativity, I would write about the same thing over and over again because I was comfortable with it. And I don't want to do that anymore, right? I want to be exploring my creativity. I can do a routine in my life, but in my creativity, in my projects, I want to be an explorer. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's so important that we don't fall into ruts, specifically when we're creating stuff. If you're a writer, you need to explore all the random topics that you've never explored before. If you're a painter, then you explore painting things, not just landscape if that's what you're comfortable with, not just portraits if that's what you're comfortable with. Explore all the different options, Try it all because that's where we can be creative. That's where we can explore. Without any shame. We don't have to be ashamed of it because it's all creative, because it's all art. And there are no limits to art. There are no limits to creativity. If someone tells you that there are, then they don't know what they're talking about, right? I'll talk to you guys the next time around. Bye for now.